Hey everyone, this is David Brown with the migration update for May 29th, 2023 from the Braddock Bay Hawk Watch. Birdcast was predicting low migration overnight, so Kim and I debated what to do, and instead of sleeping in, we said let's go to the Charlotte Pier because otherwise we'll probably miss something good. So we got there around 5:30 in time for sunrise. They were just finishing up some overnight dredging, which was interesting to watch. Here are some double-crested cormorants going by. And I know I only have a few more days here, and I had never walked all the way out to the end of the pier, so we decided to walk out towards the end. Down at the end, that morning light is a better angle, and we were scanning across towards the Somerville Pier, and I spotted this red knot, which is a kind of shorebird that's relatively rare in this area, especially in these years when the water level's up high. There's just not a lot of shorebird habitat, so certain shorebirds can be tough to find. Red knots are a kind of sandpiper, and they're a really, really cool bird. We watched it for a while, and then someone actually rode a bike down that pier, and the bird flew out to the very end of the Somerville Pier. And when the bicyclist got to the end, the red knot took off and gave us a nice flyby. And here's one more look at the red knot, and you can see that the breast and the face are this nice orange color. Here's a spotted sandpiper flying by, giving us a nice look at that underwing. And here's what the upper wing looks like of the spotted sandpiper. And here's the view from the end of the Charlotte Pier, looking back towards land. Afterwards, we went to the Firehouse Woods and had some nice looks at Canada Warbler. You can see that necklace across the upper breast. Here's the same Canada Warbler. Notice the gray upper parts, yellow underneath, and a big white eye ring. Next, we went to the Hawk Watch platform, and yet again, it was another beautiful day of sunny, clear skies, not a single cloud, and just beautiful weather overall. The winds were out of the northeast and fairly chilly in the morning, but throughout the day, it really warmed up, and those winds eventually shifted more easterly. I heard all of the red-winged blackbirds going crazy, so I figured there was a raptor around, and then I spotted the local adult Cooper's hawk. And here's a migrating juvenile sharp-shinned hawk, which was nice to see because we haven't really seen many sharp-shinned hawks lately. Their migration is pretty much done, just getting the last few of the season. And you can see that on Sharpies, their head is relatively small, and they really push these wrists forward. So you can imagine from a distance, it would look like the head doesn't even really stick out in front. And they have sort of a squared off tail tip because all of the tail feathers are approximately the same length. So a little more compact looking compared to the Cooper's hawks. Cooper's hawks look a little bit more lanky with a big head, slightly longer tail. Here we have part of a group of turkey vultures, and turkey vultures were kind of slow but steady today, and we ended up with over 100 total for the day. Here's a juvenile bald eagle getting chased by a red-winged blackbird. You can see on these juvenile eagles, they have that really dark head, dark underside to the body, even trailing edge to the wing because all of the feathers are the same age, and these pale inner primaries, and a lot of white here in the wing pit area. And here's another look at the same juvenile bald eagle after it caught a fish. You can just see the tail of the fish right here. Taking a look at the eBird checklists from today. At the Charlotte Pier, we had 17 species, and again, the highlight was that red knot. At Firehouse Woods, we had 38 species, and the highlights were 2 mourning warblers and 2 Canada warblers. And at the Hawk Watch today, we had 47 species. Taking a look at the HawkCount report for our migrant raptor totals, today we had 108 turkey vultures, 6 bald eagles, 2 northern harriers, 1 sharp-shinned hawk, 40 broad-winged hawks, and 2 red-tailed hawks for a total of 159 migrating raptors. That brings the May total to 12,975 and the season total to 49,800. So, do you think we'll break 50,000 for the season? I hope so. The new species for the season was red knot, and actually since I recorded last night's video, we went back out in the evening and also picked up Acadian flycatcher at the Firehouse Woods. And taking a look at the forecast for tomorrow, it's looking mainly sunny with a high around 80. Winds are starting out from the south, fairly light, and then shifting to a northeast lake breeze. Again, that should be fairly light. So it's a favorable morning wind, but it will depend on when that lake breeze kicks in. And that southerly wind early on isn't very strong, but if that stays for a little while, we could get some kettles of vultures and broadwings moving, but once that lake breeze kicks in, it'll push the flight line more towards the parkway. So we'll probably stay at the platform, and we'll hope for the lake breeze to hold off so we do get a bit of a morning flight. But just be aware of that. There's a possibility that that lake breeze could kick in pretty early and shut down the flight. And for Wednesday, which is the last day of the count, it's looking sunny with a high around 80 and light northerly winds. So would expect light, maybe moderate migration. Well, it's always a shock when I give the forecast for the next 3 days, and there's only 2 days to give a forecast for. So we're coming up on the end of the season, but obviously we're still finding a few goodies here and there, like that red knot this morning. So hopefully we'll have a few more surprises before the end of the season. Hope you can join us for one of the last 2 days at the platform. From Lake O'Birds, this is David Brown. Thanks for watching.